Yeah, this is Vinay Teja. In this video, we are going to discuss about the different types of plus I and minus I group. So before digging into the content, I request you to watch the complete video and post your queries in the comment section such that we may answer to you and we can make the content regarding to your queries. So let's discuss about the different types of plus I groups. So you know very well, plus I groups are electron donating groups. Okay, electron donating groups. So among the plus I groups, bonded CH2 minus will be having highest inductive effect compared to others, followed by NH minus, O minus, COO minus and alkyl groups. So I want you to do alkyl groups. I want you to understand the alkyl groups. There are three types, right? There are tertiary, secondary and primary. So we will discuss this inductive effect based on the structure. Let's draw the structure then. So in general, tertiary would be CH3, any alkyl group you can take. So here I am taking methyl group. This is tertiary, and C secondary, CH3, H, CH3. This is secondary, and you know very well primary, that is CH3 and CH2. So see here, when we see this tertiary one, we got three alkyl groups, right? 1, 2, 3. Move on to the second one. We got two alkyl groups. Am I correct? Two alkyl groups. Whereas in primary we got one alkyl group, that is methyl. I have taken methyl, but you can take anything. So see here, whenever electron donation is coming into play, these three groups will donate the electrons effectively. The three groups will donate the electrons effectively. Whereas when we compare to this, here we got two alkyl groups. One is this and another one is this. So more number of alkyl groups can donate the electron density towards the electro deficient atom. Say for example, consider this as a carbocation. I am doing it again. So take a carbocation attached to three methyl groups. So when you see this carbocation, it is electron deficient. Am I correct? It acts as an electrophile too. So it needs electrons. The electron density is very low. So here we got three alkyl groups, that is this, this and this. So that three alkyl groups will donate the electron towards the electro deficient atom more effectively. So here that carbocation attains stability. So the tertiary carbocation is the stable one. The tertiary carbocation is the stable one. So we will move to the secondary carbocation, that is CH, CH3, CH3 and it's a carbocation. So we got here two alkyl groups. Am I correct? So we got two alkyl groups. That two alkyl groups contribute to the electron deficient nature of the carbocation. So comparatively we got three alkyl groups here. We got three alkyl groups here, whereas here we got only two alkyl groups. So tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and to the primary. Okay, am I clear? Move on to the primary carbocation, that is CH2 bond CH3, right? So this might be the primary. So see here, if I talk about the carbocation, so in order to stabilize this carbocation, only one CH2 group is there, that is methylene group is there. So it will also contribute for the electron deficiency. It will also donate, but not effectively as much of the tertiary rather than secondary. Am I clear? So we can understand that more number of alkyl groups, more stability is there. Okay. So the primary carbocation here, see this is alpha position, right? So the carbocation is stabilized by only this methylene group. That means electron density moves from methylene group towards the carbocation. That means here we got to see that more number of alkyl groups will effectively donate to the carbocation skeleton such that it will gain more stability. So we can even isolate this tertiary carbocation by using any salt. Okay, we can isolate this. And see, when we move on to the secondary carbocation, the two alkyl groups will stabilize it. Primary, you know very well, that is only one methylene group will stabilize it. So remaining, see that CH2 minus ion got the more donating ability. Why so? We will discuss that in the later part. So now let's move on to the minus I groups. Okay, let's not make this video big. Let's move on to the minus I groups. Let's move on to the minus I group. Yeah. OF2 plus, OR2 plus, next nitrogen containing species, that is NF3 plus, bonded NF3 plus, that means ammonium salt. Next NCl3 plus. So next amine NHR plus. Next we can move towards the nitro group, cyano group, and see sometimes alkene and sometimes alkyne. Alkene and alkyne change. These are all minus I groups. Among them, the strongest effect is shown by OF2 plus. Why? Because see, the fluorine, two fluorine atoms are most electronegative atoms, and it contains a positive charge on the oxygen atom. That makes more electron deficient, more hunger towards the electron. That's why it is having more electron withdrawing nature. So this is all about the minus I groups. Now we will move on to the applications of that inductive effect. So before going to that effect, I want to tell you one rule, that is when we move on to the amines. So I am taking three amines here, that is NR3 plus, another one I am replacing one of the alkyl group with the hydrogen atom, that is amine with a positive charge, and see I am taking this species and another species left over is, that is ammonia. So nitrogen, in everywhere you can see the nitrogen is with a positive charge. That means it is an electron deficient species. It has the ability to grab the electrons from the surrounding species. So we got here all the four species. Among them, if I ask which is the strong electron withdrawing group among these amines, that means ammonium salts, which one is strong? So I tell you is that NR3 is the strongest. Why? Because see, if you consider the structure, with a positive charge. Okay, so here this species will be having bond pair repulsions. What are those? Bond pair repulsion. Due to that bond pair repulsions, the electron withdrawing nature of this ammonium salt or ammonium ion will be more. Due to that electron withdrawing nature will increase. That is why NR3 will be, that means alkyl groups, ammonia with alkyl groups will be more electron withdrawing than other species. Am I clear? Yeah, let's move to the applications of the inductive effect. So first application is, we can determine the stability of intermediates. Next one, we can move to the acidity. So I have explained this acidity concept in my lecture 2, so you can go and watch there if you would like. Next we can discuss is basicity. Mainly basicity of amines. I will be making a dedicated video on basicity of amines. Okay, next we can move on to the fourth one is, that is reaction of alkyl halides or reactivity of alkyl halides. Okay, we can discuss the reactivity of alkyl halides. Now first we will discuss the stability of intermediates. How are the intermediates affected by the inductive effect? Okay, plus I groups, how they modify, minus I groups, how they modify, depending upon the different species we will discuss. Now we will move on to the stability of intermediates. So I have discussed about the carbocation, right? So that is also one intermediate. Can I say like that? Yes, carbocation. This is tertiary carbocation. Am I correct? This is tertiary carbocation. So this tertiary carbocation is most stable species among the secondary and primary one. We have discussed it due to plus I effect of the alkyl groups. These alkyl groups have the plus I effect and it determines the stability of the and it determines the stability of the carbocation. So let's take the carbanion. Let's take the carbanion. Same tertiary carbanion, if we consider, is it stable? No, right? Why? Because see, this carbanion already has the more electron density. Okay, it has more electron density. So still these alkyl groups are donating. So still these alkyl groups are donating. Due to that fact, electron density upon this carbanion increases. That makes this species more unstable. So that is why in the place of electron donating groups, if we replace with electron releasing groups, what will happen? What will happen? Let's see. So this is the carbanion, and I am replacing the 3 groups with electron withdrawing groups. Example, I am taking NO2, that is nitro group. So these nitro groups pull the electron towards itself. So the electron density on the carbanion decreases. Electron density on the carbanion decreases. Why? Because they are pulling the electron towards themselves. They are pulling the electrons towards themselves. That is why carbanion with 3 groups of nitro will decreases the electron density on itself, okay, such that making it stable. Carbocation with alkyl groups will be stable, and carbanions with nitro groups are stable, if we consider this. So carbocations with electron releasing groups are stable, whereas carbanions with electron withdrawing groups are stable. This is in general. So I can tell you that. So see here, carbocations with electron releasing group. Electron releasing group is represented as ERG. Okay, electron releasing groups are stable, whereas carbanion with electron withdrawing groups are stable. Why? Because you know very well that carbanion has the more electron density towards itself. That electron density is pulled over by this electron withdrawing group, such that it makes the carbanion more stable. Okay, so carbocations with electron releasing groups and as well as carbanions with electron withdrawing groups are stable. Am I clear? So acidity, next part is acidity. I have discussed the acidity in my second lecture. You go there and watch if you want. Next we will move on to the reactivity of alkyl halide. Reactivity of alkyl halide. So halogens, basically chlorine, bromine, iodine, these 3 we will use. We will not use astatine. Why? Because it is a radioactive element. So I will take one example, that is primary alkyl halide, that is CH3, CH2, X. This is primary, and if you consider the secondary, that is CH3 bond CH, CH3, and it is attached to one halogen atom. This is primary, this is secondary. Let's move on to tertiary. CH3, CH3, CH3 and halogen atom. So how to distinguish these 3? How to distinguish these 3? How to understand the reactivity between these 3? So the reactivity is directly proportional to stability in the case of carbocation only. Okay, in the case of carbocation, reactivity is directly proportional to its stability. How does it happen? How to test it? So dissolve these 3 species in silver nitrate solution. In silver nitrate solution. So here silver nitrate, being the silver plus ions, it is the halogen selective Lewis acid. It is the halogen selective Lewis acid. In +1 oxidation state is halogen selective Lewis acid. It selectively abstracts the halogen from the reaction mixture. Okay, how to understand that? So let's take primary alkyl halide, secondary and as well as tertiary alkyl halide, and dissolve each one with silver nitrate solution. Each one with silver nitrate solution. Among the three, tertiary tertiary alkyl halide will precipitate first, followed by secondary, followed by primary. So here reactivity is in this order. So how to understand the reactivity? So in the case of carbocation, reactivity is directly proportional to its stability. We know very well, after the dissociation of the halogen atom, we will be generating carbocation. So that is, we will be generating this species. Am I correct? We will be generating this species. As we have mentioned earlier, tertiary carbocation is stable of all the three carbocations. So tertiary carbocation will be precipitated first. Okay, it reacts with the silver nitrate solution. The silver which dissociates will abstract the halogen atom, thereby generating the carbocation. That carbocation is stable, so it precipitates first. That carbocation containing species will precipitate first, and the formed precipitate is silver halide, and the formed precipitate is silver halide. So first tertiary carbocation will be precipitated, followed by secondary, followed by tertiary. So in this way we can determine the reactivity of alkyl halides. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Next move on to the another topic, basicity of amines. Basically I told you to make a dedicated video on basicity of amines. It takes a hell lot of time, so I will give a general idea, brief description about it. So one thing you have to keep in mind is basicity is directly proportional to electron releasing groups. So the number of electron releasing groups increases upon the nitrogen atom, basicity increases as such. Okay, basicity increases as such. So we know very well that nitrogen is containing one lone pair of electrons. So for the basicity to constitute, it must donate that lone pair to the another species which is in need, that is basicity. Okay, so in order to donate that lone pair of electrons effectively, electron releasing groups must be there. So that is why basicity is directly proportional to the electron releasing groups. So how do we do that actually? So I am taking the three species actually, NR3, this is NR3 I am taking. I am replacing one alkyl group with hydrogen. Next one, what can I take? I can take NH2R. Am I correct? Next I can take NH3. So in each of the species I have removed the one of the alkyl group and replaced it with hydrogen. Let's check what would happen. First I would be taking NR3. Nitrogen means one lone pair, R. So see here, as I have told you, basicity is nothing but the availability of electron density upon the nitrogen atom. So nitrogen must donate that electron pair in order to constitute for basicity. So if electron releasing groups are present, that releasing groups will pass the electrons through sigma bond to nitrogen atom, thereby increasing the electron density on the nitrogen atom. All the three groups will do same. So the electron density on nitrogen atom is very much high. So this constitute the basic nature of the amine groups actually. So next one we will move on to the another species, that is NH with two alkyl groups. One lone pair. Here only two alkyl groups are present, so that two alkyl groups will donate. So the ammonia, that amine molecule will show basicity, but when compared to this, the basicity will decrease. Why? Because see here, three alkyl groups are donating. Next, here two alkyl groups. If we take this species, only one alkyl group will be constituting for basicity. Only one alkyl group will be constituting. Next we will move on to ammonia. What happens to ammonia? All the alkyl groups are replaced by hydrogen atom, and it would be the least basic among all the species. So if I say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So I can write the So first would be more basic, then second, followed by third and fourth. So this is the basicity of amines. So in the next coming video, I will be making the dedicated video on basicity of amines, as you have the topic 2, and it is most important topic. You must watch that video. Before concluding the video, I would like to say one thing to you. Please do watch the video till the end. That makes us to do more videos, and please don't forget to comment below. So if you have any queries or if you want any topic to be discussed, please mention it in the comment section. We will discuss and we will have our video separately on that. Okay, so please do like our channel, subscribe our channel and share with your friends, and please click on the bell icon below it.